Hey guys, this show isn't for kids, so if you're a kid, stop it. Okay, start the episode.
Is it on?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
uh,
Gotta start it off somehow.
Welcome to Did You Hear About This? It's a podcast about stories. I'm Bryce.
Hey, I'm Derek.
And a reminder, we are not reporters, we're not historians, we are just two dudes who like to tell stories.
Yep.
Could we get any more, just like...
Any more generic? No,
generic.
I don't think so. But it's how you start off. You start off generic, and then you make your personality. You gotta start generic so people can attach to you, and then you become a douchebag. That's how celebrities do it.
Yeah.
Which, I think people already know probably from the first few episodes I'm already a douchebag, but that's besides the point.
Hey man, everybody loves you.
Yeah, right. Never mind.
So the other ones, we had like the Cold War. This one has another theme. You're not really big into sports, are you?
No, only like professional wrestling.
Okay.
Maybe a bit of baseball.
So you like professional wrestling. You heard of UFC.
Yes. The real wrestling.
The real fighting.
The fucked up fighting.
Well, I don't have stories about either one of those.
Oh, thanks.
But this is just fighting in not fighting sports. So let's start out with... did you hear about this? Did you hear about 10-cent beer night?
No, but it sounds like a bad idea. That's like when they have 50-cent shots. It just seems like a really bad idea.
Yeah, shout out to the YouTube channel Weird History for bringing this to my attention. This was in 1974.
Oh, so it's even worse because people had a lot of money back then.
So we're actually not going to start on 10-cent beer night. We're going to start about a week earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's a baseball game between the Cleveland Indians and the Texas Rangers.
Okay.
It started when a Rangers player did a hard slide into the second baseman, and they took him out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then several innings later, the Indians pitcher retaliated by hitting a player with a pitch.
A baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, that's always a bad idea. That's how you clear benches.
Yeah. The bench is cleared, and they brawled on the field, and afterwards they continued the game afterwards, and the Rangers won 3-0.
Oh, they actually let them continue the game.
Yeah.
Usually that shuts shit down.
Yeah.
Usually they end it after that.
The game wasn't suspended. No players were ejected. And the
These
Rangers
some really relaxed referees. They're like, yeah, it's fine.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah. Okay.
A week later, they're playing again, the same teams. Mm-hmm. This time they're in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. And a way for more people to go to the games, they're like, hey, why don't we make a 10-cent beer night to get people to come to the games
we'll get the shittiest beer there is and charge only 10 cents a drink.
Yeah, it was I think it was 30. I don't think it's 30. That's really high, but it was a high percentage for beer alcohol level. Mm-hmm. So we'll get you just super alcoholic shitty beer, sell it for 10 cents.
Just please don't leave the game. Stay here.
A little bit of context. A beer normally during the games is 65 cents at this time.
Okay.
So,
oh shit, that's 70% off or something ridiculous like that.
If that happened in 2014, I saw a statistic. If it happened in 2014, it would be a 48-cent beer night. At the same percentage.
Oh, that's still a bad idea.
That's a really bad idea.
This is not going to end well.
Don't worry, there is a limit of the amount of beers you can buy at one time.
Well, I only got one, so that means you can go and get more after you're done.
Yeah.
It's like the episode of SpongeBob when he's giving out money and the guy, I'm getting back in line. It's like that.
So, I want you to guess how many beers they could buy at one time, the limit.
I want to say 12 because it sounds like it'd be a pack.
It's actually twice as much because there were cups.
Oh, okay. So
you could buy just 6 cups of beer per person per time. So you could just buy 6 cups by yourself.
How are you carrying that?
I don't...
They got McDonald's carriers there? He's got 2 extra slots open.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, we have these fancy beer carriers.
Yeah, there's 6 of them at a time.
Yeah. So...
Couldn't it spin? Can the carrier spin? So it's like a revolver, so you drink one and you
they have
flip
like
it again.
one of them that's like gross.
Yeah,
so
exactly. It's like roulette.
Yeah. The world's like worst roulette.
Yes.
So
it's a dirty glass. It's the one the bartender spit in. You know, like what they do in the movies.
Everybody turns around, spin it.
Yeah, and see what you get.
So the amount of fans that came out to the game was 25,134. If you're wondering, that's twice the amount they were expecting.
People love cheap shit.
Yeah, they do.
Good thing they didn't do 5-cent hot dogs. They would have really had a problem on their hands.
So the game started, and very quickly on, and probably like the 3rd inning, the Rangers were up 5-1.
Okay.
During that like 3-inning stretch, the Rangers pitcher took a line drive to the stomach, and the crowd, and he fell to the ground. The crowd chanting, "Hit him again! Hit him again!"
It's kind of like wrestling. It's like ECW.
Yeah, but this guy was like legitimately get pelted with an over 100-mile-per-hour pitch straight to the stomach, and they're like, "Yeah, hit him again!
Throw another one! Hit him before he gets up!" Just keep throwing him.
A woman ran onto the Indians on deck circle and flashed their breasts,
That's easy.
and then tried kissing the umpires.
Those are happy umpires.
No, they were like super not for that because they're trying to
Be
work.
professional.
Yeah, like, woman, please, no.
Come back after the game. Come during the 7th inning stretch.
They were so early the 3rd inning. There were already multiple streakers. One included like a guy's like second like home run, and he was in the middle of streaking when he got the home run. So they're like, we don't want to not count this home run. So we get him off, but we have to keep playing. And then remember it's up to the 3rd inning.
I say, yeah, we're
6 more innings.
We're nowhere near done. God help us if we go into overtime.
And then a father and son pair ran out into the outfield and mooned the fans. So as you can tell, this is just going great.
Yeah. Sales are up.
Oh, yeah, they
Sales are most definitely up.
So, we get all the way. This keeps happening. Like stuff, they keep playing. They're like fighting through it. And the 9th inning, the very last inning, at this point the Indians were able to bring it back, and they were tied 5-5.
Okay. Oh, so it can go into overtime then. Hopefully it doesn't.
At this point, a fan runs out into the field and tries to take a Rangers outfielder's hat. The outfielder like tried to find him off, but he kind of fell. Like he wasn't attacked, but he fell. But the Rangers manager thought he was being attacked, so he told the entire team to grab baseball bats and run onto the field.
I said, yeah, you don't leave anybody behind. They went after that guy.
Yeah, so he sprinted out, and the fans, seeing that they're about to charge this dude with a baseball bat, they jumped onto the field, and they sprinted at him. And they were armed with, like, knives, chains, like, portion of the stadium seats.
It was a greaser fight with guys from Greece. It's like Anchorman when they have the anchor brawl and they all have random fucking weapons.
Where'd you get a grenade?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you'd stab the guy with a pitchfork. I saw that.
Yeah, they had stadium seats. They were throwing, like, bottles from the stands.
Stadium seats?
They broke the stadium seats.
You know how hard it is to break a stadium seat off?
Dude, they were getting 6 beers at a time.
That's true. They were the Hulk at that point. That's like the scene in Titanic when they ripped the bench off the ground. Except, it's a fucking metal chair.
Yeah.
In cement.
So they surged onto the field. So there's just hundreds of fans surrounding the entire Rangers team. So the Indians manager's like, we gotta help the Rangers because they might die out there.
Band together.
They have knives and like sharp things they're fighting. So the Indians players grab their baseball bats and sprint on the field to protect the Rangers from their own fans.
It's the stupidest thing in the world.
So
that's like you never seen The Warriors, have you? It's a really old movie.
I have not.
It's a thing where there's multiple gangs in the city, and one of the gangs get blamed for murdering like the top gang leader thing. but one of the gangs that try and attack them have a baseball player theme where they walk around with baseball bats and like baseball uniforms and shit. It's the stupidest thing in the world.
I did play the Warriors video game.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because I believe there was one of the enemies in there.
That was such a hard game.
Yes.
I'm not good at fighting games, and it was just like the baseball guys were the worst because they hit so much harder. Anyways, so they were able to like get the rest of the players off, and they protected each other from the fans. And then,
form a circle. It's like Spartans. It's like 300.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like, I'm not sure how many people were on each team. I'm guessing it was around like 25, 30.
Baseball teams. 4, 3, 4. Back. I was probably close enough.
So there's maybe like 60 people against like hundreds. So yeah, it's about 300 numbers. And they escaped through the dugouts, and then the Cleveland police showed up shortly afterwards to calm things down because they weren't there during the game.
Yeah, why would they be? It's 10% beer night. They're at the game drinking. That's what they're doing. They call them sober police officers.
So at the end of the day, 9 fans were arrested. That's
really low, actually.
Yeah. So I'm going to go over some of the things in that big brawl, like some of the injuries and stuff that happened. A Cleveland relief pitcher got hit in the head by a thrown folding chair.
So it is wrestling.
Yeah. The head umpire got his head cut by a piece of broken stadium seat, and his hand was cut by a thrown rock. Mm-hmm. All of the bases were stolen. All of them.
No more home runs around here. They took it and ran home.
A lot of the things they found in the field afterwards were rocks, cups, bottles, batteries from radios, hot dogs, popcorn containers, and folding chairs.
Sorry, I don't know why. It just looks weird in my head to see baseball stadium folding chairs pulled out of the ground.
Because I think there was a combination of like stadium chairs and just regular folding chairs.
Okay, that makes it a lot easier because that just means like people were going Hulk and ripping chairs out of the ground and throwing them.
They were going Hulk and ripping the chairs apart.
Yeah,
using like the arms and stuff as weapons.
It's like when somebody takes their shoe off, they just rip the arms off the chair and beat them with it, like an action movie star.
So, I'm gonna tell you something that might blow your mind a little bit.
Sure.
This wasn't the last 10-cent beer night, nor was it the first.
Wait. Okay, so it wasn't the first one. How did the first one go? I want to know. I'm really interested.
It was nickel beer night.
Oh, so that makes it even better.
And nothing happened.
Really? That's so... What year was it?
It was 3 years earlier.
3 years?
So it was still, like, very fresh.
Yeah. Huh.
And then there was one...
It was in a dry county, so they actually didn't sell any beer. It was just a ploy.
It was still in Cleveland. Like, so this just this one night, just like the right people were there to get drunk and cause this to happen. Because then they did another 10-cent beer night a month later. A month.
And was that one chaotic, or did it go okay?
It's actually almost twice the amount from this one. But there was a 2 beer limit per person.
Okay, so that explains it then.
It was per person, so it wasn't like you couldn't go back again. And it was, again, uneventful.
That's a good thing. They learned from mistakes.
Yeah, but it goes back to the nickel beer night where, again, they didn't have any limits, and nothing happened.
It was really shitty beer. It was watered down beer.
This is beer I swashed around in my mouth a little bit first. I hope you enjoy it. So yeah,
it was warm beer.
So hearing all this, do you want to go to a baseball game?
I love baseball games, Bryce. They're the only place you can go and not pay attention to what's going on and still figure it out by the end, because nothing happens at them. They're fun. Not to go watch, though. That's where you go to like hang out with your friends and you just talk really loud and eat peanuts.
I went to one professional baseball game. I went to a Reds game, and I'm not a huge baseball fan. And of course, I was sitting there watching. And I'm like, wow, we're only in the third inning.
Oh yeah, it takes forever, dude.
Yeah. So hypothetically, if you went to today's equivalent of a 10-cent beer night at a baseball game, and this started happening, would you join in?
No, I am the type of person, depending on where I'm sitting, I'm either getting run over because I'm so short, or I'm just in the perfect spot that everyone runs around me. Like when you see like animals getting in like a stampede, they go around them.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna sit there and be like, oh shit, I wonder when the police are gonna show up. And then that's when you start recording. You're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. By that point, they would probably just break out a big hose and spray everyone away.
Honestly, yeah.
I imagine that's how. There's no way they didn't spray people at the 10-cent night, because there's no way like 10, 12 police officers showed up to like, how many, like 2,500 you said? Something like that?
Yeah, it's 2,500.
If there's no way they showed up and everybody went, okay, the police are here. Good night, everybody. I'll see you later. See you Tuesday.
Especially like at this point, they've been fighting enough, and like we're already armed.
Yeah, exactly. It's already done at that point. That's when you put the they put the baseball stadium probably just on lockdown and locked all the doors. We're like, no one leaves till you calm down. And then they rioted for about 2 hours before they fell asleep.
When I did research on this, if I remember right, they actually had trouble getting them to leave.
Yeah.
Because they just wouldn't leave. They're like, just
just go.
Get out!
Just get out of here, you stupid animal.
And that's why I think only 9 people were arrested, because they just kicked everybody else out. Because there's so many, they're like, let's leave.
Yeah. Well, that's how it lands. It's like, they can't take all of us. That's how Area 51's going to get raided.
Context, we're recording this before the Area 51 raid.
We're going, right?
I mean...
Maxton's going.
I guess we're going now.
We can go with Maxton. We can do a show from there. We're not going to invade. We'll watch people invade and watch them get shot on the line.
We could be like the commentators.
Exactly. Look for our live show.
He got shot.
Where we're going to count the bodies that hit the floor every time they pass the line of scrimmage.
It's
become a sport now.
It's probably maybe become an annual thing. If it doesn't go super bad at first.
Every year, people try and invade Area 51 in September. It is in September, right? If I'm correct.
I'm not 100% sure.
I believe it's September. But that'll be the daily tradition. It's like the Purge, but instead of people killing each other, they get killed by the government.
Okay, do you want to do some Florida Man?
Sure, we can do Florida Man.
Let's talk about our local superhero or supervillain or both.
He's an anti-hero. He doesn't do what's right. He does what he needs to be done.
He is shirtless.
Yep.
And
even if he's a lady, sometimes he's shirtless still. Yep.
And he rides a gator into whatever.
It's like Florida Santa Claus. He comes on a flying gator. He has one of those beer hats with the mugs on the side. He just came from the 10-cent game, actually.
And it has just not cans of beer, just cups of beer.
They're solo cups. They're big red solo cups.
Okay, I have 6 here, so we can do 3 and then do the second story and do 3.
Copy that.
Start this off pretty strong.
Oh.
Florida man gave brother's name to avoid being arrested on outstanding warrants. Gets arrested after discovered his brother also has outstanding warrants.
So not only did he get caught, he gave up his brother who they didn't even know where he was.
Exactly.
That's fucked up.
He's like, oh, I know I have warrants. I'll give them my brother's name.
Yeah.
That way I won't be arrested. And then they're like, oh, you have outstanding warrants. Because his brother also has outstanding warrants.
It's a family trend. All the apples are right next to the tree, pretty much.
Yeah, they didn't get very far.
Why not give him somebody's name you know isn't up to shit? Or do like Dale Gribble. My name is Rusty Shackelford. So while they're looking it up, you just run away.
I mean, if you had, say hypothetically, you had outstanding warrants.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is your go-to giving me a fake name or?
I have a feeling I wouldn't be able to lie my way through it.
Yeah.
I say I'm not that good of a liar, especially when I'm under stress.
Yeah.
And police officers put me under a lot of stress. It comes to the territory.
I'd be like, you know what, man? Just
take me.
Here's my give me the handcuffs. I can put them on myself.
They do zip ties now.
They do?
Yeah. I said they'd stop using handcuffs a while ago.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah. Oh, well. I know. Yeah. Don't ask.
Let's go to one that involves an airplane. Florida woman smashes laptop over boyfriend's head after looking at other women while boarding flight.
It was the stewardess. That was the worst part. He was just asking for a drink. And she overreacted.
He was like, can I get it? I know we're still boarding. Can I use the bat?
I saw you staring at her. Yeah, I need help.
I'm going to talk to her while looking at her.
He pushes the stress button on top.
She walks over. Are you looking at her again?
Yeah. What a waste of a laptop.
The problem is now you don't have anything to do on your
exactly.
flight.
You're stuck on a 3-hour flight. You broke your laptop to have all your movies on it. Now you got to sit there and read Sky Mall.
You're sitting there. Your boyfriend's bleeding. What are you going to do?
The air marshal was sitting on the plane like, fuck that. That lady's crazy. Call someone else.
I'm going to call this in. I'm not going to get out of my seat, but I'm going to call this in.
Just call it. Dude.
What?
I just imagine, but her hitting him over the head, but it splits in half. Because it's obviously she hit him with the corner, so it's like, she does like a Bruce Lee, like, as it goes over his head.
Splits it in two. Now she has two weapons.
Yeah, exactly. No, she hits it, it breaks. She hits him with one, and she takes the other half and flings it at the lady he was looking at like a fucking ninja star. Like, ah!
So I just pictured a shot where like it goes like a frisbee, so it veers off to the side a little bit and comes back.
It's like Wanted or whatever, the one where they curve the bullet.
Yeah, it goes around the woman with the baby and goes and hits the stewardess.
And all this time, it's like Quentin Tarantino music's playing, like dun 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 dun. It hits.
There needs to be an entire movie based off of this one headline.
I love action movies when they take place on planes.
My favorite one was the Samuel L. Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know it.
I might, unless you're going for something here.
But if I say the name, I feel like you're going to make the quote.
Nah, I won't do it. I promise I won't. You can say it.
It's Snakes on the Plane.
I have had it with the... No,
God damn it.
I'm done.
That's actually, I was thinking maybe we can just go do the first 5 and then do the second story and just save the last one
for last. Is it that good?
I really like it.
Okay, fine.
I'm not sure if I think you'll like it too, but I think just the sentence enough is gonna be great.
We can close with Florida Man. That's fine by me. So we're at story number 3 then.
Yeah. Florida woman arrested for smashing lemon cake into mother's face.
I like lemon cake. And I don't think I would charge for that. If somebody smashed me in the face with lemon cake, I'd probably be like, can I have the rest of it?
So I looked this up, and the article I saw just said it was a dispute.
Mm-hmm.
What would cause you just to take an entire lemon cake? And it was like, fuck you, Mom, and just shoved it in her face.
What you're missing in this story, Bryce, is that they're actually a family of clowns, and there was no banana cream pies there. So she got the closest thing she could have, which is a lemon cake.
And there was a predetermined agreement they wouldn't use lemon cake.
No lemon cake.
And she used it and was like, I told you not to use lemon cake.
Not lemon. I hate lemons.
She starts swelling because she's allergic.
Yeah, exactly. Lemon cake is delicious, actually.
It makes me think, like...
very moist.
I've had carrot cake.
I hate carrot cake.
I mean...
And I hate people that like carrot cake.
Context,
you like carrot cake?
I said I had it, didn't say I liked it.
So you choose your words wisely then.
Because my mom's a huge fan of her stepmom's carrot cake.
Oh God, they make carrot cake.
Yeah, and they have like actual carrots in it. I'm like, this is weird.
It's how you make carrot cake.
It goes back to the joke of like, fruit is delicious, cake is delicious. Fruit cake is nasty shit. And you.
I've gotten fruitcake twice for Christmas because the first year I was like, I want to try some because I never had it before.
Yeah.
And I bit into it, immediately hated it. And I think I gave it to my grandfather. Like, you want this? He goes, yeah, because he'll eat anything. And then I want to say the next year we got fruitcake again, and I forgot because it's been a year. I'm like, I want to try this. I've never had it before. And as soon as I bit into them, like it was like a premonition, like like a vision, like. I saw into the past. I'm like, I remember having this nasty shit. I don't want this again.
It's a flashback to the same situation you holding the plate and the fork.
Exactly.
Like, wait a second.
It's like That's So Raven. My eyes just got big and zooms in.
That's so Derek.
That's so Derek. It's the future. He can see that. No.
It's still you singing the thing.
Yeah, it's me singing myself.
Person.
Yep. Like Dwayne Johnson.
I think she gave Dwayne Johnson his own TV show about but he sings like the opening thing.
He actually has a song not anymore. Well,
let
me phrase that. He did a song as The Rock where he sang in third person as The Rock.
He did. I didn't watch Ballers, but he did Ballers.
I've never seen Ballers either. I keep seeing it and it looks cool. I have the opportunity to watch it. Just never got around to it.
Oh my god, it's Dwayne Johnson. I'm gonna watch Moana again.
I've never seen Moana.
Dwayne Johnson's in it.
Yeah.
He sing raps. It's pretty cool.
He does the You're Welcome song.
Yeah.
I've heard the music. See, that's the worst thing. I don't watch a lot of Disney movies, but because where we live is Disney territory, you hear the music all the time.
Yeah. Let's go to the next Florida man. Well, actually, this one's a Florida suspect because they don't know if it's a man or woman. Florida suspect vandalized school with pickles.
Like he like egging a house, but with pickles, or did he sneak into the school and like leave pickles everywhere?
So that's when I did a little more research for because I knew you were gonna ask questions.
That's a really weird story.
They did a lot of things in this school. They threw pickles at computers in the front office.
Okay.
They put coffee creamer in the microwave, and then like made it explode.
All right.
They smashed 2 ukuleles in a tribal drum.
Okay.
And they poured water near some computers.
Not on them, just near them.
Not near it. Like, I don't want to get too close.
Bryce, I got a funny story about an emergency room that you just reminded me of. But that sounds really weird.
Do you want to tell the emergency room story or no?
Oh, yeah. I was once time in an emergency room, and there was a lady who they had strapped down because she couldn't move. She was, I guess, on drugs or crazy or something like that. And she had her own security guard there watching the room. Security guard was drinking some water and but he sat it on top of one of those big old school fat computers. Mm-hmm. And she lost her mind. And she went, "You need to move that water. Security man, I know you hear me. I know you hear me, security man." And she's just yelling throughout the whole thing. And the security guards had a face like, "I've had it with this shit. I was supposed to be off work 3 hours ago." But she yelled the whole time until he moved the cup of water off.
I mean,
it's like 5 minutes of yelling.
I like to think she maybe was like she worked with computers for a living. She's like, I know what happens if you drop that water.
It's like a really bad horror movie. As soon as the water drops, it turns like a monster and it starts killing.
She has like flashbacks to her ruining her own computers with the water. Like, no, don't do it. So they did all that stuff. I want you to guess the total amount of damages.
Oh, of damages? Well, since the water was near the computers and it didn't touch them,
yeah,
and coffee creamer isn't an issue, you just clean that out. Mm-hmm. I don't think Pickles can break a monitor. I want to say this is a total of about less than $1,000.
You're right, yeah.
I say there's no damage here.
Let's put it this way: either you and I can afford to cover everything.
Oh, okay.
It's $200.
At that point, it's like you don't even have to pay for it. Like I'll just waste an afternoon cleaning up real quick.
Like now, I got this coffee creamer all inside the microwave. Yeah. Wow, good thing I have this one paper towel. To clean up.
Just there we go. When you said the story at first, the first thing I imagined was when you said ransacked and destroyed.
Yeah.
I thought of him like replacing certain items with pickles. So like the teacher comes up like to erase the blackboard. But instead of the eraser, it's the big fucking pickle. Pickle. And he goes...
And just like a streak
of pickle juice.
Aww.
Somehow he didn't realize he picked up a whole pickle and smeared it across the board.
It's been a long morning. He couldn't find his coffee.
Exactly. He couldn't make his coffee because the creamer wasn't there. He only takes his coffee with cream.
And then he went to this office. He tried to staple paper. It was a pickle. Like, ah.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't work.
I drew on the board, just erased it. Ah. I'm gonna get my car keys, just shove the pickle in his door, like, ah!
It just smears into it smashes into the actual door.
Why is everything pickles?
All pickles.
Why am I not noticing everything is pickles?
No, you know what the worst part is? Sorry, before we go off that story. He sat at his desk. The computer was fine because there was no water near it. He sat his arm on the table, put it all in the water, so now his long sleeve shirt is wet for the day.
Florida man urinates on police car parked in gated lot.
That's not the weirdest thing to go down in Florida.
I looked this one up. This dude, if you're wondering, this gated lot was in an apartment complex. It was where they parked police cars.
So he's ballsy.
He's like, that shouldn't be in there. And
No.
there's other cars in there with it.
All police cars.
Yeah, so he got in there and just peed on the car. And clearly there's security cameras, and they got him.
Was there an agenda for this? What was it a specific... That's the one that pulled me over and gave me a ticket.
I think he was drunk.
Oh, okay.
So he came from 10-cent beer night.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy was arrested me.
He was one of the 9 that got arrested. He got out and immediately went over and pissed on the car.
It was a very long... He's playing the long con.
Yeah. It's a vendetta.
Alright, so that's the last Florida man for now. I'm going to go to the story now that caused me to have the theme for this episode.
Okay.
This is a story that I knew about. There wasn't a thing that told me about this. This is one I found out years ago, and I love it.
Okay.
Did you hear about this? The Malice at the Palace?
No, but I love that it rhymes.
Yep.
Don King is promoting this, apparently.
It happened November 19, 2004.
Mm-hmm.
It was an NBA game between the Indiana Pacers and the defending champions Detroit Pistons. They were 7 games in to the season.
Okay.
They both only played 6 other games. So super, out of the 82 games, it's super
I say
early.
it's really early. We're talking about practice? No.
The Pistons are known for their heavy defense. They're really very strong defense.
Do people bring signs with a big D and a fence for them?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
It was less than a minute left in the game. The Pacers were winning, beating the defending champions 97-82. Like the game was done.
Mm.
Ben Wallace of the Pistons was told early on in the game that the Pacers' Ron Artest. You're gonna need to remember that name, Ron Artest.
Ron Artest.
Ron Artest told him that he was going to foul him.
Okay.
At some point early in the game, he said, "I'm going to foul you." 45 seconds left in the game.
Okay.
Wallace goes for a layup, and he's fouled by Artest, who slapped him in the back of the head.
Do you know if the guy was bald headed or did he have hair? Because if he was bald headed, that made like a clap.
I'm pretty sure Ben Wallace had. Well, he's known for his fro.
Okay, so never mind.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he had a fro at a time, but he known for his fro. He ended up shaving it. So
that's how you get a good, nice slap on the head when they're bald, especially if it's like a smooth one.
Yeah,
you get a real good clap on the back of it.
So he slaps him in the back of the head. So Wallace turns around and shoved Artest's face with both of his hands.
Just his face, not his body. He grabs his face and pushes him.
Yeah. So both of the teams clear the benches and they break it up. And during the altercation, Artest goes to the scorer's table in the middle of the court and just lays down on it. Mm-hmm. And he put on a headset just to talk to he knows the radio broadcasters. Mm-hmm. And later on, it wasn't working, but they know because Artest does this a lot. It's like, just turn off the mic when you see Artest walking towards you. Uh-huh. Because Artest actually has had anger issues in the past, so he's trying to put his headset on and just calm down. Mm-hmm. So he's laying down and trying to calm down.
It's his therapist. He wants to talk to the commentators.
So 90 seconds after that shove, that's like a minute and a half later, they're still trying to calm down Ben Wallace.
Everybody.
Pretty much just Wallace, and Artest is still laying on the table. Mm-hmm. That's when a fan threw a cup of Diet Coke at Artest.
Does it specifically say Diet Coke?
It says Diet Coke.
Okay.
And it hit him in the chest. He immediately jumped up off the table and sprinted into the stands.
Oh, he started whooping ass, didn't he?
Yeah, he grabbed him and he thought grew the cup and just started fighting him. There's video of it. He actually grabbed the wrong guy.
I think I've actually might have seen this on like a funny clip sports video.
Yeah,
because I remember seeing one of a basketball player beating the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, so he starts fighting him, and then another pacer, Steven Jackson, followed him up there and it punched a fan who was trying to restrain Artest. Then it followed by more pacer players and more officials trying to restrain those two. After Artest left the stands, he was confronted by 2 more fans on the court who he started fighting too. Mm-hmm. He was finally pulled away and escorted to the locker room. Eventually, the rest of the game was that 45 seconds was called off.
Was the game considered a non-contest after that point, or did they that's the final score right there?
Yeah, they're like it's over.
Okay,
We're not playing anymore. As the game was called off, the players were escorted to the locker room. They were escorted to the locker room.
They weren't allowed to. They were like, "You're going."
No, they had to be protected.
Okay.
Out.
I thought they were being like forced in.
Yeah, they were both, but the police had to threaten the fans with arrest if they didn't leave the arena. And the entire altercation, 9 spectators were injured and 2 were taken to the hospital.
Both the 2 guys who got their ass whooped.
Yeah, by Artest.
Neither of them were the guys who threw the Diet Coke. The guy who threw the Diet Coke now has a T-shirt that says, "I threw a Diet Coke at," what's his name again? Artest?
Yeah, Artest.
At Artest and survived.
So, I have a lot of these stories I have like bullet points we're going to go through.
Mm-hmm.
The police came to the locker rooms to make arrests later on.
Mm-hmm.
But the Pacers rushed Artest to the bus and refused to take him off the bus. The cops were like, "All right, fine," and just gave him an escort to their hotel.
It's like, we need him for the rest of the season. We know he's causing trouble, but we really need him.
Scratch that. He was suspended for the rest of the season.
Really?
Because he was suspended for a total of 86 games because they ended up going to the playoffs. So he was suspended for the rest of the season and the playoffs.
Damn.
The rest of the season. Remember, this was 7 games in.
But I say, yeah, because he's pretty much done for the year.
Yeah, it was done for that entire year.
Yeah.
Steven Jackson, the guy that went up there, was suspended for 30 games. Ben Wallace was suspended for 6 because the initial fight.
Oh, okay. So I was like, what the fuck did he do? He didn't punch any. Well, I guess he technically he shoved the face.
Overall, 5 Pacer players had legal consequences. They had 1-year probation, $250 fine. They do community service and anger management therapy.
They go into the office of the anger management guy. He's drinking a Diet Coke.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, exactly. He sits on the table. So what are we going to talk about? Boom! He just punches the shit out of him.
Because of this, the NBA now requires there to be 3 security guards between the fans and NBA players at all times. So all the benches you always see 3 security guards.
But I say, yeah, they're always around.
Yeah, this is the reason why.
It's not for the basketball players' protection; it's for the people with Diet Coke's protection.
It's like they don't sell Diet Coke.
They don't
anymore.
sell Diet Coke anymore.
Can I get a Diet Coke? I'm sorry, we'll get Diet Pepsi and regular Coke.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, we know.
So
you also buy a beer for 10 cents. Here you go.
So years later, this is my favorite part of this story. Years later, Ron Artest, after his name has been associated with anger and fighting, he decided to legally change his name while he was still in the NBA.
Okay.
To the most peaceful name he could think of.
I really hope I know what name you're about to say. What is it?
His name now is Meta World Peace.
He was on Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah.
Okay. That dude. How do I want to put this? He's out there a little bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He legally changed his name because of this fight. Pretty much, he had anger issues and depression, but this is because his name was associated with this. He changed his name
to Meta World Peace.
Meta World Peace, which
they had to put on the back of his jersey.
Yeah, his back of his jersey said World Peace.
Oh.
So brings up the question.
So wait, it's not like Meta his first name.
Yeah.
World middle name Peace. It's just Meta's first name. World Peace his last name.
Yes.
That's stupid.
And Meta, I think I read somewhere. I think it also means peace.
Mm-hmm.
So it's peace.
Peace, world peace, man.
Yeah. And when I first thought of doing this one, I thought I would ask you the question hypothetically: if you had to change your name to something that would be more, think of a better name that's more peaceful.
It's got to be peaceful.
You just give me whatever. Honestly, I just want to hear what your answer is.
I wanted to say Sharp Hand Joe.
So people won't
They won't.
You won't get the context of Sharp Hand Joe.
No, they won't. But that's the first thing I thought.
There's an off-brand figure
of
Freddy Krueger called Sharp Hand Joe.
It's like some Chinese knockoff,
and it's I want a T-shirt of it, and I think you want a Sharp Hand Joe, right?
I actually want an action figure. If anybody can find where I can buy a Sharp Hand Joe, I will buy one. I will buy 5 of them, just so I can have one in each room. And one in the bathroom.
So you have Sharp and Joe.
I want Sharp and Joe.
If-
Specifically Sharp, and then the middle name's Hand, and then the last name is Joe.
So it was shortened. It was Sharp,
Just be Sharp
H,
Joe.
Sharp Joe.
H Joe.
Sharp H Joe. You. See, we should have had you have like a professional like stage name and be Sharp Hand Joe.
Sharp, no.
But can you think of a more peaceful name than Meta World Peace?
Meta World Peace.
World Peace is pretty good. You can't get more peaceful than World Peace.
No. Space Peace.
Space Peace. Universal Peace.
Universal Peace.
See, the government's trying to make a space army, a space whatever.
We're going to be the space hippies. We're going to have picket signs.
It's pictures of like planets that says peace on it.
Yeah, exactly. Us hugging
Space
aliens.
peace.
Be like, we can all get along. As xenomorphs pop out of our stomachs.
That's all I have for Malice at the Palace. Do you want to...
I say move on to the last Florida Man. Do you think so good?
Let's go to the last Florida Man.
All right, because that'll wrap this up.
I'm gonna, before I do the Florida Man, let's do some little bit of housekeeping stuff. Shout out to Young Walnut for our new song.
It's a really good song.
Thank you. You can find him on YouTube. You can find him on SoundCloud. Thank you for
Discord too, right? If I'm correct.
If you go to his YouTube, you can get the link to his Discord.
Okay.
Search Young Walnut. It's YUNG Walnut. He makes a lot of great music. It's mostly meme stuff, and I love it. So let's go on to the last Florida Man to end things out. Florida Man attempts to rob Dunkin' Donuts by turning off the power. Fails when he realizes the safe doesn't run on electricity.
That is like video game levels of thinking. It's like, yeah, if you turn the power off, the safe just opens. It's like, that's how it works. It's easy.
The security system's off. We're good.
Yeah,
Get
we're
in
good.
there.
We get in.
Oh yeah, regular locks.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you see those videos where they just try and pick the safe up and run away with it and it doesn't work. But yeah, that's the level of thought that went in there. They're like, how do we do this? Well, on Hitman, if you cut the power off, you can just go into the vault. It's so easy.
You said Hitman. I now have them pictured as like the funny Hitman costumes, like as a clown and a cowboy.
Oh Jesus!
We turn off the power, but we can't get in.
Just a clown in overalls.
Yeah.
No, that's so dumb. That's the stupidest thing. Why a Dunkin'? Dunkins don't even make that much money anymore. If you're going to rob a coffee place, I know it's called Dunkin' Donuts. They're more known for coffee nowadays because the donuts suck. Anyways, if you're going to rob a coffee place, rob a Starbucks or something.
Yeah, Starbucks, if you want to sponsor us, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll
We're already
rob
showing
you.
we hate...
We'll promote robbing your establishment. It'll be fun. You'll have somebody rob you every other week. In Florida.
Hey, this way, don't worry. We're not going to cut off your power. We know it doesn't work
Yeah,
now.
exactly. It doesn't work.
So we do that other Florida people just like test things out for us. And we're like, okay, cool. This won't work.
It's like you slowly learn from people's mistakes. It's like a game show. Oh, that'd be an awesome game show, actually. You make like a prop house.
Yeah.
And the strategy is to get past the fake security. Obviously, it's real security guards, but they act like security. And get in and rob the place, and you have to just learn over time how to get in. That'd be a neat game show, actually.
It would be.
Huh. Obviously, if you cut the power off, the vault doesn't open. It stays locked. But
I think that's all we have this week. If you guys want to have us talk about different stories, now have an email you can send it to. It's DYHATpodcast@gmail.com. That's DYHAT podcast@gmail.com. DYHAT, yeah. Did you hear about this?
We hate hats.
Die hats. Yeah, send us your stories, ideas. We'll give you a nice shout out before we do it. That's all we have. You want to end on anything?
Don't have a complicated name to pronounce.
Seriously, I have a stutter. If you didn't already notice, and I have trouble getting through.
He has a stutter, and I don't really care. So it's not a good combination.